All right, we'll get started, and thank you guys all for joining us today. Today, we're excited to have our clinical trials conference series, which is a joint venture between GlomCon and NephCure. And today's talk is titled Drug Development for All Ages.
Good morning. I think on behalf of Debbie and I really want to thank all of you for giving us this opportunity. This is work very dear to our heart, and to have the opportunity to speak with people as committed as all of you to the improvement of the health of patients of all ages with glomerular disease, and letting us talk to you about children is really just a treat, even on and it's a freezing cold Sunday morning anyway, so nobody's running outside to the park. So we want to divide the time, and we want to make sure that we leave really ample time for you to have an open conversation, because I think that's the most important thing. Everything that we will present is available in other formats. The key thing is to be able to put our minds together and to talk to one another and find out how to work better together to achieve this really important goal. What we want to discuss, we're talking about pediatric trials in glomerular disease. We're talking about it for all ages, with the understanding that we want to make sure that children are included in all of those ages. And we want to start off by talking about what's happening out there, some recent successes. Failures is a tough word, I think, but disappointments might be a better word, and some challenges, by highlighting current experience, ongoing experience with the Duplex, Protect, and Epic trials that are being sponsored by Travere, the recent experience with bardoxolone, which is being tested in a disease that's very important in pediatrics, and then trying to learn a little bit from the work that recent accomplishment with avacopan in the treatment of adults with ANCA-associated vasculitis, and its relevance to children, and how it's actually being leveraged, how people are trying to move from adults to pediatric circumstances. Duplex, as you know, is the ongoing study that's being sponsored by Travere, looking at FSGS. This is interesting. This is a success. I think this is a clinical success. In other words, I think it's the largest randomized clinical trial that has been done in FSGS. They randomized 371 patients, and this is through really the very, very beginning, the very dire period of time at the onset of the pandemic. An enormous number of sites studying the entire globe, and the enrollment occurred over about 2.5 years. Again, as I say, COVID was towards the latter third of the enrollment period. So this is a credit to all of the people. Interestingly, despite the fact that Duet, which was the phase 2 trial testing sparsentan in FSGS, which was open to pediatric patients, and the age range was 8 to 75. Duplex was not. But again, this is an important milestone, the fact that the community of nephrologists around the world, adult nephrologists, were able to successfully recruit this number of patients in a really quite a reasonable time frame, is really a feather in the cap to the entire community. And it does provide impetus to expand into the pediatric population as well. And I'll show you that actually is being done. In a parallel manner, Protect, which is a very analogous study that's being done for IgA nephropathy. It's also a very, very encouraging finding. As we all know, that the literature we've been beating ourselves for at least a decade now at how low the rank is of nephrology compared to other disciplines, and the completion of adequately powered randomized clinical trials. And Protect and Duplex are, I think, beginning to reverse that trend. So this is a study. The Protect was a study that had a similar onset, beginning of the study at the very, very end of 2018. And in fact, mid part of last year, May 2021, 404 patients were enrolled. So they exceeded their planned sample size again, recruiting again through the heart of COVID. Very, very broad representation around the world, North America, Europe, and Asia. And both studies are extremely pragmatic in their design. They're enrolling patients with FSGS without central review of the biopsy, reachable enrollment criteria, GFR greater than 30, protein to creatinine ratio greater than 1. Similarly, in IgA, GFR greater than 30, protein creatinine ratio greater than 0.75. No requirement for central review of biopsies, which is often a substantial logistical issue. Both of them